Welcome to myprojectbuzzer.com. The title of the project is Novel Hybrid Intrusion Detection System for a Cluster Wireless. Let us see the abstract of the title. The distributed networking, we have the system to cluster the detection. The intrusion detections for using to the KD10 dataset. The SVM classification to accurate the result of the accuracy to detect the normal or anomaly behaviors for the dataset. The detection system, we have the SVM classification and signature-based detections to high detection rate for the load. The KD10 dataset, the classification using to the SVM to landing and classify to the result of the KD10 dataset. The log traces, everything will be tracing approached. Then we have using to the signature database. The signature-based detections, we have to use to the rule-based database. The rule-based, we have taken to the features of the KD10 dataset. The collection of features, we have taken to the 4 or 5 features. The feature retrieved to the information of the distribution detection. The detection information clustered to the normal value and abnormal value for the KD10. The values will be detection from to the KD10 dataset. The signature based, supposed we have using to the rule the normal and abnormal separate to find out the KD10 dataset. The dataset contains 35,000 of records. We have detected to the protocols and the source rate and the region and count basis. We have using to the SVM classifier and the signature based detection. We have using to the retrieve the information for highly detected to the wireless sensor databases. We have using to the KD10 datasets for the wireless sensor networking range. It contains the 42 features and retrieve the information for the intruder. What are the intruder inside the detection system? Let us see the flow of the diagram. First of all, we capture the packets, then the anomaly detection engine. The anomaly detection engine should packet for abnormals. The normal detections will be the node process is the normal. Suppose if yes, it's a misses detection. This detection we have matching to the signature based databases. So we have using to the KD10 dataset the anomaly packets the abnormal, the normal detections only be result. Suppose the abnormal result we have the misused detection engine started. This engine started we have using to the signature based detection. The signature based detections we have the cooperative detection and the suspicious node. Suspicious nodes we have the intruder is easily identified to that. Suppose we have the cooperative model, we have the rule based vote. The vote model we have using to the rule based. The rule based we have directing to the this detection for the signature, so normal or abnormal. So normal is separate for the abnormal. If yes, is the suspicious node is a intruder. So the detections range will be followed for this flow. The clear flow mentioned to the KD10 dataset based. It's not like to the client server model. It's not like to the client server model. It's the dataset model. The dataset contains the network features of the information. So the detection based to 3 steps we have following. First of all, we detect the normal or abnormal detections. Then the misuse detections we find out to the signature databases. The signature databases we find out to the rule based models to detect the extent of normal and abnormal for the intruder detection system. Let us see the demo of the project. This is the hybrid intrusion detection system's main form. Click to the browse button. Click the datashet. First of all, we take into the server dataset, the data store. Still wait to the process. The data size and the data records will be successfully added. Click to the data viewport. The viewing part will be the source and destination and protocol and the information of the protocol. So we are using the filtering taken for the protocols. So clicking to that. So you click that HTTP protocol filter. Only you see the protocol for the filtering techniques. TCP, checking the TCP, checking the filtering for the TCP client. So the source and destination for the TCP client we mentioned to this data set. Next we have seen to the KDD. Close the button and KD10 dataset will be loaded. Then extract the result. Still to wait for the result of the extraction. The dataset extracts successfully. click to the view part. So it's contains the 42 features of the KDD dataset. So first of all, the anomaly detection of the SVM LAN and SVM class. Click the SVM LAN first of all. The URL needed to the dataset. Click the SVM. Click the SVM clan. It's a console application to read. Click the datashet for. So model files. You select the model file anywhere, any location. You click the txt file for the log stretching. I click the models txt. Then next we click the log trace file. I click the log file. Check no open. Click the SVM LAN. The console application will be reader for the SVM LAN exe. After the result, we get the classification. Successfully data traced. The SVM classification using the SVM classification console. Click the dataset. It's the same dataset. Classification model. Suppose where to land in the classification, you click to the model. The classification output, I will take to the new log file of the output. I will click the output and the log trace file. I will click the log trace file for the classification result. Checking to the classification result. The result of the process will be generated to the console application. The successfully data traced. So the SVM classification result will be generated for the true value. Clicking to that, we're checking to the log trace model. So the output of the normal values will be generated for the 1. Next we have go to the anomaly detections. Anomaly detections, we're checking to this detection point. Threshold. The source range will be highest range of 0.1.00. If you check the packet will be normal, the auto checker is a packet is abnormal. First of all, threshold detections will be checking, the anomaly detection will be checking. This is the process or directing to the abnormal value. Checking the status of the normal, the status will be abnormal for loaded. Suppose you checking to the packet normal, threshold detection, click the anomaly detections. This is a TCP client ICP, wherever your dataset will be displayed for the detection. Suppose the signature database, rule-based signatures. So if you click to the normal basis, we have directed to the signature detection for the signature basis. Suppose you direct to the abnormal basis, threshold detection, we click to the go to the misbehavior detection. The misbehavior detection for the abnormal result, we check to the misuse detection for the dataset. So this is the misuse detection. The intruder will be checking. This protocol type of intruder's detection is this. So we have the intruder for the misuse detection of the abnormal. The result of the detections will be shown for the graph model. The intrusion detections, we checking to the data for the ICMP protocols intrusion. Next we have go to the signature level, packet normal. This type of packet normal, some more intruder will be hide for this database. With signature detection, we generate to the rule basis. We taken to the rule of the cluster protocol and the cluster SRC byte and the cluster destination byte and the count and the difference host rate. We clicking to the first of all the protocols loaded and the cluster resource loaded and the distinct value will be filtering for this signature rules. Then count, then the SRC. The component model will be directed to the protocols. So I will check to the protocols for the TCP or three type of the protocols we have done to the KDD. So first of all I will checking to the ICCMP. So the rule classification result will be generated for the ICMP. The next with the abnormal intrusion detection. Suppose you click that, the abnormal result will be shown for this one. The result of the abnormal. Suppose you select that, the result of the normal values. So both constructions will be generated for the classification. Suppose it's not no abnormal, you take the result of the ICCP. So the protocol decision ICCMP provided to the normal and abnormal status for the detection. Okay, suppose I will change to the UDP, the same protocol and the rule classification of the abnormal. The UDP data content to the abnormal data. So checking that detection, this is the normal value of the UDP protocols. So the rule-based detection will be generated for this model. Thank you.